Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping in. In today's Boxes and Deals, I'm going to show you some Danessa Myricks palettes and how I created my whole face look with just those 3 palettes and one other Danessa Myricks product. And I just wanted to show these because a lot of people have said they didn't care for these palettes only because they weren't sure how to use them or sure how a monochromatic palette could really be worth purchasing. This is the brown one, all, just different shades of the same color almost. So I wanted to show how I use both palettes, and maybe you not necessarily need to buy both, but I wanted to show both palettes and do a full face look with these. Plus I added the Danessa Myricks Lightwork V palette to complete the look. Again, you don't have to, but I just wanted to show that. So if you want to see how I created this look using just those palettes, please stay tuned. Originally, the original Groundworks palette was the Defining Neutrals, and that's what it looks like. Now, I will say I don't like when my palettes look used. I mean, of course I use them, but I don't like, I know some people are big on panning, which is wonderful. It's a way to show that you're using your products and not just collecting and letting, and not using. But I love my palettes so much. I want them to look well cared for. So one thing about these is that because they are creams, they're soft, and so they do move and kind of dent as you use them. But I'm okay with that because I know they work so beautifully that it's still worth it to me. And I love that you get a cream and a powder in each shade. So this is the neutrals. And just as an idea overall, this is kind of like a banana powder shade that could be used as an eyeshadow base, an eye brightener, or anything along that line, or just a shadow by itself. Even maybe somewhat of a highlighter without shimmer, if you like that. And then we've got some cools, neutrals, and warms of kind of the brown shades, some kind of olive brown shades, grayish, and then a little bit deeper. And then we have our black, which is a wonderful one that I need to try. I want to try the black as a base for some of those shimmer toppers, like the multi-chrome toppers, to make them just really say wow. But they could be used as eyeliners as well. A lot of these shades can be used as brow cream or powders, and they can be used as bronzers, or if you like kind of brownish type of blushes, they can be used as that. They can also be used on the lips, eyeliner, eyeshadow, all of that. So you can create a full look with one palette. Again, I did use all 3 palettes to just show the versatility of the palettes, but this one is the newer one, the Blooming Romance. And so we've got, again, you can use this as a concealer or eye brightener or eye base, highlighter again. Then you got your different tones of pinks. You've got your warm blush, cool kind of lavender and deeper lavender, mauve, mid-tones, and some, then you go into the deeper shades. I can't wait to use all of these. This one right here would be my favorite blush color, but I used a different one in this look. Again, you can use them for eyeliner, for eyeshadow, for blush. You could use this even as a bronzer if you wish, either of these. You can use them for your lips, eyeliner, everything. So you can use, again, even just this palette. If you didn't get both, you could use either one for a full face look. I'll show you how I used the eyeshadow before I did the Lightworks to add to it. You can just easily go without adding the shimmer if you're like that, and it'd just be a gorgeous, simple, matte eye look. But I did go ahead and add some of this palette, which is the Lightworks palette, and there's so many multi-chromes in here and different textures. I absolutely love it. So this one wouldn't be a full face look, but this is a great way to add to your look. So I used one as a highlighter and a couple as eyeshadows. So that's what I used. And then I did some touch-ups with this Dewy Balm. All right, so I started off with a primer and a skin tint rather than a full coverage foundation. So it's not dewy as in like making your face shiny or anything. So if you're someone who does not like a super shiny face, this doesn't do that. If you are, then you'll need to add other products to make it shiny, as shiny as you would like. I think it's a good in-between. It feels just between the two products, it feels like I still have a bare face, which I like. So that's all I have on so far. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Groundwork Defining Neutrals. And I'm going to do the cream. So I'll start with the banana. So that's quite a bit of difference already. Look how brightening it is. So the cream actually dries to a powder, so it doesn't even feel like a cream once it's on. I was thinking of using it for an eyeshadow primer as well. We will go ahead and try that. I love how smooth it feels, and it just feels so velvety. Amazing. And I like what a good job it did. I'm gonna go in with a neutral tan to kind of give a little more depth to the base shade. Look how smooth that goes on. Amazing. And I am using the cream again. So I could do a whole complete eye look with those, but I think I want to get into the Blooming Romance one. Go with this kind of lavender mauve tone right here. I'm going to start with the cream. All right, this is kind of a fluffy brush. I wanted to try and see if I could pick up how well I can pick up the cream with that, and it looks like it does a really good job. So you don't necessarily need a dense brush. I'm gonna just go over that tan shade and kind of mauve it up a bit. Then I want to deepen up the outer corners with this shade right here, the shade Bliss, using the same brush. Pink, maybe a mixture of both of these, or gradual. I'll do the medium first in the inner corner, or inner half actually. Then I'll do the lightest pink right in the inner corners. I could just leave it like that, or I could even deepen it up if I wanted a little more. I could go in with the deeper colors on the outer edges, a little bit deeper on the inner, but I'm going to leave it like that. So this is more of a base that I wanted to use for the Lightworks palette. But I am going to go underneath with this kind of burgundy again. See the difference? And then we can do our blush and our lips with the same palettes. But I'm going to take some of this light pink powder real quick first, the powder version of the very light pink, and brighten up the under eye. I could do it with the cream as well, but I'm going to just do it with the powder. We're going to start with bronzer. Typically I like a denser brush, but I need to get to my other brushes. A denser, smaller brush would be great for this. Or, you know what? Maybe I'll use one of my beauty blenders. So I'm going to go in with, again, this neutral. It's a lighter. And then I might add a little bit of this depending on how much contour we get. So I'll start with the medium. It's kind of a medium neutral. Could be light to medium. Yeah, that's perfect actually. Just adds a touch of bronzer. Anything, it might be a little warm for me. And again, I'm using the cream. Now I'm going to go in with the cooler brown right here and see if I can touch it up even more. Yeah, I like that. We'll add some blush, and I like this medium pink right there, shade Dreamy. I'm gonna try the brush and see how that will do. Just do a touch of the light pink in the powder and do it kind of under here just to brighten it up a little bit. Now we're ready to get into the Lightwork palette. Here's just a few of the shades. This one is absolutely gorgeous right here. Look at all the colors in that. That's gorgeous. And then this one is Healed, this purpley half right there. And that's what we're going to use. And it would actually, I think that's gorgeous. It would actually intensify even more if I had like if I did use a glitter primer. Okay, because I think this is gorgeous. I'm going to do this shade right here. This one probably needs glitter even more. I'll do some just up here. I was thinking of using that shade as a highlighter as well, but it is very, or not very, it's rather sparkly. So I think it'd be a little much as a highlighter, but I'm going to try just a little bit and see what I think. But I may change it and just kind of swipe it off. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's kind of shifty. All right, I'll keep it. It's just kind of a subtle little bit of shift. think I'm going to top it off. This is the Dew Wet Balm in the shade Rosewater. But you can use this as a base under your foundation if you want a, facial glow. But I'll show you a swatch. For me, it would add too much color, but look at that's a gorgeous, makes a gorgeous highlighter, and it is very creamy. So it does kind of have a more creamy texture rather than versus those that are kind of cream to powder. This stays more creamy and kind of like right now it's kind of tacky. So it would be a good, face primer, or possibly I should try it as an eyeshadow primer. This would probably be a good one. So I'm just pressing it in and it gives a nice added glow. All right, next we're going to do, there's so many, I want to use all of these, but I will add swatches so you can see them all. We'll do brows, back with the Groundworks neutrals. We're going to do the deepest cool brown, and that is the shade Bark. So we're gonna just tap lightly in with this brush. I could also use an eyebrow brush, that kind, but I'm gonna try it with this for a eyebrow fill-in. I personally just rather have natural looking eyebrows and just give it a little bit of color and make sure all the hairs are lying down nicely. So just a little bit of fill in the bare spots right in there. It gives it just a light shape and fill. And then I could do a black eyeliner, but I'm not going to. I think I'm going to do this one as an eyeliner right here. On the bottom, not on the top. It probably won't show multi-chrome, but we'll just try it and see. I'm not going to do in the waterline, I'm just going to do the lower lash line. Just to give a little bit more oomph. So in this light, it almost looks more red. All right, I just did the CoverGirl Lash Plumping Mascara. Danessa does not have a mascara yet. All right, now we're going to do the lips. I could use some browns, especially for a lip liner, but I think we'll just do colors out of the Blooming palette. And we'll go in this wine color right here. That is the shade Everyone. I will say it takes a little more effort, in my opinion, than just a regular pencil liner. So we'll see how it does as a lipstick. I'm just going to fill in very lightly. The lighter shade that I'll use next can blend in nicely. I will say I should have exfoliated first. That's okay. That is gorgeous. I want to use, just because I feel like it's a little too on the red side, I want to use a cooler tone for the top. So I'm going to try this mauve, which is also what I used for the eye base color. Because I love this color right here, but I feel like that's a little too warm with, I feel like the eyeshadow, well, it shifts red, but it's more of a cool purple for the most part. So we'll go with the cool mauve. color, but definitely no cream. Like I said, this is like a cream to powder. Once you apply it, it just feels like it turns to powder. So it feels like there's no lip color on. I don't know, I can't say how long it'll stay, but it does feel a little bit dry. You can always just put a gloss over it, but again, we're gonna try. I don't know that this is lip safe. We'll read the back. Face and Body Balm. So you could even use some to highlight your collarbone, but it doesn't say on the package, so I would have to read more, but I'm going to use it on my lips. I'm not saying I recommend it, but that's what I'm going to do. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. It's very moisturizing too, so it makes my lips feel moisturized and smoother. So if you like a frosted look for your lips, it's not super glossy, but it looks kind of like a frost color. So there is the entire Danessa Myricks look. So we did our eyeshadow, eyebrows, eyeliner, blush, bronzer, highlighter, and lip liner, and lip, I wouldn't say a gloss, but you can call it a topper. All with these 3 palettes and this. All Danessa Myricks. Tell me what you think. What's your favorite? If you were to choose one of these Danessa Myricks, what would you choose? Don't forget Sephora, 20% off for Rouge, I think 15% for VIB, or 10% for Beauty Insiders. So that could be a good way to get it if you want it soon. Also, Danessa Myricks does have occasional sales on her website, so you could always watch for that. But I love these, and I just wanted to show how they can be so versatile, not just eyeshadow. You know, a lot of people complained that it's just a boring monochromatic palette, but it really isn't, because you can use all of these for so many things. Did you think that it works for a full look? I think either of these palettes could have worked by themselves as well. So all right, lastly, I just want to add real quick some live swatches of the Lightwork. The Groundworks would probably be a little harder to swatch, but if you do want me to swatch those two, I would be happy to. Just let me know in the comments. So what they call the Heavenly Halos are the shade Resistant. I'm going to do it on the back of my arm, which I don't usually do, but just so it's easier to show you. And I'll do another swatch to build it up. So these are kind of like toppers, I guess you would say. That's gorgeous. That'd be good for inner corner. I could have used that as highlighter as well. Then we have the shade Radiant, also a Heavenly Halo. Look at that. That one is a little bit more or less sheer, but has some peach to yellows. Another great topper. Imagine these over the black base in the Groundwork palette. This one is a Fusion Flake, so it's kind of that flaky texture, but it smooths out once you apply it. Then we have another Heavenly Halo in the shade Protected, which is what I used on my eyes as well. The last Heavenly Halo up on the top row is the shade Evolving. Beautiful. So that is the top row. All right, the next row is the big halves, and these are called Silk Press Shifter. We have Strong and Brave, Wow, look at that gorgeousness. I have not tried that one yet, but I sure need to. And then we'll just kind of rub those out a little bit. Let me build up that second one a little bit more so you can see. Has some green, blue, and even some pink in it for that second one. Gorgeous. Then this next two are called Whipped Powder Shifters in the shade Fierce and Fearless. So they're a little bit creamier, I guess you could say. Green to orange, red, beautiful. I don't know if you could see where it turns green over here. And then the lighter one. Beautiful. Then the next two are also Silk Press Shifters in the shade Loved and Healed. So this one has the lighter one first, and then the deeper one. Let me build up that lighter one. You could see this deeper purple has some green shift too in certain, when it turns, when I turn my arm. And then the last one in that half pan row are also Whipped Powder Shifters in the shade Inspiring and Abundant. Look at that. Kind of a silvery blue, and then this gorgeous. So as it turns, it does turn to purple. I wonder if there's a way to show kind of the extra shift in there. There we go, a little bit. Yeah, you can see more shift this way. So pretty. And then the last row we have one Molten Metal, and that's that silver one called Invincible. And that one is kind of a flaky, so you just kind of definitely want to use your finger, but just kind of smooth it out, and then it does that. Very pretty. So that one doesn't shift, but it does have a lot of glitter. Okay, the next one is a Suede Shimmer in the shade Unstoppable. Let's build that one up a little. Then we have the shade Powerful. It is a cushion chrome. Then we have, that one has some staying power. Then we have another Suede Shimmer in the shade Unbreakable. That one feels a little on the creamy side, so you just build it up and add to it. Looks like a red base with some kind of purples in there. And then the last one is also a Suede Shimmer in the shade Enough. So they're not as chromy, shiny as some of those other ones. Oops, I made a mess there. I made a real mess. You get the idea. All right, let's do the mirror trick again and see. Beautiful. Let me know your thoughts, and if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!